I was Boy Scout assistant, taught 5th grade, and Sunday school. And Mother would say, "I'll help you." And if there was pages of answers, and she'd sit there at the other end, maybe by the hour. She did know how to play the piano. But, oh wow, that's it. That's it. And Grandma's, she had 3 little brothers, and one of them was retired to live with family, aunt, and she looked after him. And Grandpa Johnson, they were just full of love. But they had families that had wherewithal. 60 years. The Johnsons and the Rademakers were superintendent of the Sunday school and in Methodist to teach the adult class. While my Grandpa Albers was pretty bitter because the doctor was drinking then, and he gave them medicine that would make them have their children early, which meant 4 had retarded child, or a child and died early. And 3 of the 4, the mothers died. So Gertrude raised 2 out of the 3. 3 out of the 4. A tough life. A tough life. Well, I did tell you how I got to Wartburg after Lincoln College, and I was second, and the only boy, I was second. And I always got good grades, so we had someone speak from Capital University, Columbus, Ohio, and he talked me, and I was going to go there. And I got from 20 to maybe 11, the other way around. I got all kind of stuff from Capital University. And the pastor, Detchen, he made phone calls, reported, and he said, I don't hear from him. And they act as if there's not going to be housing. And he wanted us, Pastor Detchen. He was always wanting me at confirmation. And he said, I got a cousin not that many miles. So my dad had all the money he had, and he gave it to Pastor Detchen. And we went to Waverly, Iowa. It was summertime. There was one homely girl, but nice. She showed us the buildings. And Pastor Detchen said, well, he was top male in this. He got all these grades, and he should get a scholarship. And on that basis, I got a good scholarship to Wartburg. But we don't have any housing. We got somebody new, and it's 8.5 blocks, and he with 4V in a tiny attic where that stuff would rub off in your clothes. And outside, there's a tiny shower and potty. Oh. And the secretary of the dean knew me because I was active in youth work. And she said, Don Johnson, I know you in Emden. I'm here, but I want to talk to you about things. Will you come for dinner next week? And she said, I hope you don't have a special girlfriend, because I've got somebody, and everybody has met you. You fit. And she works in the bank, and she sings in the choir that practices with the college. And so she had me for dinner, and she filled in the details. And then I went to where they gathered, and I said to a guy that was in an adjoining county, do you know? And she went like this. And I said, you know who that is? Yes, that's Marianne Zelle. I said, and I wasn't cocky, I want to date her. He said, line up. I would. Every guy on campus would. She's wonderful. She was so active in Luther League. So the next Tuesday, she was there, and Mrs. Dean waved. And she got up. My roommate, and we got ice cream. I paid for his. And we got to right there, the parking lot, and I said, are you going to church? She said, yes. Could I have a ride? She said, I'm walking. And I said, how do you get home? Well, my dad's a treasurer. I've got a Luther League meeting, and then I go back home with my dad. And I named everybody she'd know, like the leader nationally and the number 2 people, and the couple pastors who led all these youth events. And now things are warming up. And she said, but I don't have a car, and I'm riding to the end of town, or maybe her brother come by. And I said, well, I quit football, now I'm on the wrestling. And I thought we could go to Luther and Wartburg. And she said, I can't. I don't have a car. And on Saturday, I have to clean the whole house. That was my job. She did all the cooking for her brothers, everything. And they had a lot of livestock. But she did get the cows in, and every week. And I'll meet you next week. Well, it's kind of nice by the park there on the river. And yes, Dad is going to be here. And we talked and talked, and I said, I really like you. And she said, I really like you. I said, what do you want to do with your life? I know you're doing modeling for clothing and lots of things, and you go around here, and you work in a bank. What would you really like to do? And she said, no, you'd laugh. I said, let's get something straight. I would not laugh. I really like you. A pastor's wife. What about you? Well, I thought I was going to be a lawyer, and I got a lot of courses. And a coach, and I've done a lot of coaching. Maybe I could marry a coach. The next day, I saw the dean and said, what do I got to do to change? Well, you put in just a few weeks, but you virtually have to give away the books. We'll see what we do, but.
Had you thought about being a pastor before this?
Well, not really, but I was the pastor had me, like no other kids, read scripture, all that stuff. Yeah. And, well, everything just worked out. And the place where we lived, oh, you two'd be perfect. Well, my North Dakota roommate, he thought she was a peach. And I quit football because I never, ever played, and I was getting killed as a defensive end. But the coaches said, there's Guy's a wrestler. Well, I didn't know how that was going to go, but in Iowa, they had an national in the fall. I'd never seen. And, well, couldn't we go to a football game? And she said, no. I do that. And I met her after work, and we were walking, and all at once here's a car and jumped the curb and flew open. And she said, Don Johnson, you're godsend. My son is at seminary, and he's got a girlfriend here at college and a cheerleader. And we just had an argument. He had been in the hospital. And she said, he shouldn't be driving a car. You're a godsend. You're driving the car. We have to hurry. And Mary said, I can't. And she said, I'll talk to your mom. She was queen. I was in her court when she was a student at Wartburg. We're good friends. Hurry up, get in. And we got to Mary's home, and she jumped out and goes in, and it took her about 4 minutes, and she said, hurry, you're driving my car, because he was sick, and you solved that. Oh, I had asked her for something else, I guess, and she said no. That was early on. Why? I like you. Well, I like you too, but finally, I don't want to talk about it. She said, if I ever got an invitation to a prom and I'd said no to somebody else, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So it was that. Her friends, some of we were going to have a hayride, and the rack, her girlfriend from the community, and we went on a hayride. And you think I'm a rascal. I said, you had to sit closer. My ears get cold. And, we then went to that football club where her friend didn't get a car, so we walked the golf course, and 3 miles away. And we claim, we don't remember, I gave her a kiss on the cheek on the third hole. That's our myth. I think it's true.